Hey guys, Marsegid here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the physical Goku Black with his Super EZA versus Red Zone Kid BUU. So I know this is an event that a lot of people want to see this guy in. The fact that he can greatly lower attack on Super, and of course has type advantage over the Kid BUU phase, makes him a very strong competitor for this fight, right? Because he's basically got everything he needs in that toolkit: the type advantage, lowering attack on Super. He's got very good defense depending on how you know the orbs fall for the turn. So we should be in a pretty good spot. So we're basically running pretty much the Super Bosses team that we ran for his showcase yesterday. The only major difference, of course, being that we're not running physical Rose, because unfortunately for him, physical Rose does basically just get hard countered by Kid BUU, which is unfortunate, but is the case. So there's not really much we can do about there. So we get 9 orbs with this guy, which means he's at 467k on the first turn here. Now bear in mind, of course, he doesn't have any of his passive build up, so we do need to throw out these attacks, get some hits in. It should be easy enough for him to tank hits early on in the Kid BUU section, but obviously ideally we would want him to take more hits this early, but it is what it is. I've got Kid BUU on the team as the physical Buuhan replacement, or physical Goku Black replacement, but we're going to keep him on the other rotation because obviously the Goku Black needs to have a full Super Bosses rotation in order for his orb changing passive, which means if we float Kid BUU, then when he floats onto that rotation we won't have the full Super Bosses turn. Ideally on a team like, say we're running Zamasu's team, we would be floating like physical Goku Black and Kid BUU, so they would never be on the same rotation anyway, so it wouldn't matter. But obviously the point of this video is to show off Goku Black versus Kid BUU. So the only problem, of course, is with him not being on the first turn against Kid BUU. I'm not sure how this is going to go here. Because we've got no big bad bosses if we don't put you in the middle. You don't have a full Realm of Gods turn either, so it could be a bit of a scary one here. Ideally we would have wanted, well, I suppose I have to do this, don't I, because we want big bad bosses to be active. So yeah, we'll do this. Shame we won't get those physical orbs, because that'd be a nice leave these orbs here ready for the orb change for the next turn. Do I need to use an item here? I don't know. If he immediately supers, we're probably just dead. Yeah, of course he did. I don't know how much with the turn 1 damage this is actually going to do, but good old Kid BUU. AGL Zamasu is one of those units that is like runnable here as long as he's not like the unit you're having to rely on in slot 1 on turn 1 of Kid BUU, right? Like he's the kind of character that if he's coming onto the rotation on like the second turn against Kid BUU, after you've already had like physical Goku Black super and lower his attack, right, then that's where we'd be looking alright, especially when it comes to like normal attacks. But it is what it is, so we're just going to jump straight back in. And of course Goku Black is in slot 7. Amazing. Now at least we can set up the rotations the way we want them, so we can have Goku Black's going to come onto this turn, so we do need to float off Kid BUU, so we'll have to go ahead and do this. It should work out okay though, because Kid BUU is going to get hit a bunch in slot 3 here, get basically his full damage reduction build up. We'll get a heal back off of this from Zamasu, the double super as well, that's perfect. Get a bit of extra healing on the go here, basically back up to full HP and then tank for double digit damage. Alright, so we've got a bit of a better setup here. Actually, who have we got on the second turn to potentially tank the super? We do have Zamasu. I might have to put because yeah, I might have to just put Tech Zamasu in front of the super, which means he will get floated, which is not ideal. But the thing is, when Goku Black gets built up enough, like the physical Super EZA one, he could go in slot 1 against Kid BUU as long as you pick up enough orbs. Because if you pick up enough orbs, he's still rocking like over 1 million defense in some of these scenarios. Still probably don't want him taking a super attack straight away, but if it's the first turn of Kid BUU, then he would be fine. And of course I accidentally tapped the orbs too quickly, so do I rely on the Kefla dodge when I may not be able to get 6 orbs. Although... No, I think we probably... I can't get 6 orbs if I put her in the middle, though. Alright, well, I guess we rely on the Kefla dodge versus the STR Kid BUU super attack. Not really ideal, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Probably should have. When it comes to these limited attempts things, you guys know I don't like doing it in like the videos and stuff, but when it comes to these limited attempt events per day, I probably should just reset the app if I make stupid like misclick mistakes like that, because this could be this attempt out the window. I mean, obviously Kefla, the ideal is that Kefla just dodges and takes 0 damage, whereas Zamasu eating the super, even with type advantage and that little bit of damage reduction that he still has in base, like he still would be taking a pretty decent amount of damage. And obviously Kefla, especially if he gets like the triple super turn, does have relatively decent defense. And there is the triple super turn, so Kefla able to do a lot. Kefla makes an interesting like floating option for this team, because as we saw in the Goku Black showcase, like sometimes it's very easy for her to get those 6 orbs even after he's picked up a whole bunch. And of course she didn't dodge. 1.8 million. Okay. Well, yeah, Kid BUU hits a lot harder than I realised in the STR phase. Really, 1.8 million on a triple super STR Kefla. That is wonderful. Alright, shall we get... Let's change our item over here so I can actually bring an item, just in case we get into that same scenario again. Because if we bin off you and bring the Yema, then we just get the 1 turn. Because that's the thing, I don't like having a Whis as the item that's active. Because obviously it can protect like a weak rotation before we get to see what the showcase unit is going to do. But then it means on the next rotation, the showcase unit is then being protected by the Whis as well. Which is not really what we're there to see. So, how do I want to do this? So Kid BUU's in slot 7. So the other rotation's probably going to stay the same. So I guess ideally I probably want to do this. And then here we've got a few decent set of orbs here. Kid BUU is in slot 7, which means we don't have to worry about Goku Black coming onto rotation and not having the full Super Bosses rotation. The thing is, the struggle is like this early on, so we're on to the 3rd attempt for Kid BUU for the day. And I mean, this shows something that we talked about a little bit in the physical Goku Black showcase yesterday, that whilst Goku Black himself is better on global because of the higher stats, you have to run him on a full Super Bosses team. And Super Bosses as just a full Super Bosses team with no other units. I know we've snuck Kid BUU in because we're keeping him on a different rotation. But the Super Bosses team is just nowhere near as good on global. Units like that in support Golden Frieza, who can still be pretty good. Cell Max, Broly Trio with their EZA. Like this, the team would look very different if I could run the, you know, the best possible, like my Super Bosses team of choice with like every unit in the game available. Obviously, it would be very different to this build. Do I just get Zamasu to tank the super, or do I go for? Because the thing is, even with the Yema, Kefla would die, because she took 1.8 million, so unless I double Yema, she would die because she'd still take 900k. Which is kind of crazy. It just kind of sucks having to rely on a character to dodge in order to just not immediately die. But, I mean, what else can we do? So we'll do that. We can get the 6 orbs. Ideally, I do want a Yema, because then I can Yema against the first phase of Kid BUU. But, I mean, let's see what happens. I'm assuming, like I said, with the amount of damage that she took last time, I'm fairly sure even if she doesn't dodge the super with a Yema active, we still die. But, obviously with a Yema up, like, Zamasu literally cannot take damage. So, maybe I should have just put him in slot 3 anyway. And Kefla, I suppose, yeah, because Kefla, we know he's only going to normal in the first slot. So, even if she doesn't dodge that attack before she got her supers off with the Yema, I suppose it wouldn't be too bad. But anyway, Goku Black going to get 2 hits in here, so he gets a little bit of the build up from his passive. So he's going to look a little bit better on this first turn against the Kid BUU. Hopefully Kefla can just come in clutch and actually dodge the super. Because ideally I wanted to try and do a video of the Ginyu Force versus Kid BUU today as well, but if we end up using all of our rotations, we haven't even gotten a chance to see physical Goku Black against the Kid BUU. Alright, so 2 hits, 1 dodge. Come on, make it the 2 for 2 and just dodge this. Oh, come on. 635k. Amazing. Well, at least we didn't die, but... Good lord. Okay, so... Is he going to super immediately in slot 1? I feel like he probably is, but we're just going to have to go ahead and do this. We can't avoid getting the 18 key super with you, which is a shame because it's the only one of your attacks that actually does any damage. And then we do this. So we've not got a lot of HP, but the Yema basically makes it so that Zamasu is immortal. So as long as he super attacks Zamasu, I mean even the AGL Zamasu at the end, to be fair, has a lot of damage reduction with the Yema on top. But yeah, Zamasu post super with a Yema doesn't take damage from this, right? So, and now we'll get to see, we'll actually get to see a turn of physical Goku Black versus Kid Buu, the whole point of the video, and see the effect of that greatly attack lowering. So Kid Buu with the crit gets here, gets hit here, starts getting that damage reduction all built up. I think he only needs, was it 1 more hit to be, oh no, he was on slot 7, wasn't he? So yeah, that's his only build up so far. And then this guy, stacking defense on super, a little bit of his own damage reduction, plus the Yema. Actually, I say a little bit, isn't it like 40? Or is it actually 50? Alright, well here we go. So he's going to heal in slot 1 straight away. Then, where's your defense here? 267. It's not exactly insanely high. You can get 7 orbs. What is yours? 145k. I mean, realistically, how much would we get if we did this? I don't think it's enough to, like, tank the super is the problem. So let's go for... It's getting all the blues. So if I grab these, can we end up with any more? We're going to end up with less. Of course we're going to end up with less. So we end up with 6. I have a feeling that Zamasu just dies here because of the rotation, but yeah, this is the biggest problem with Goku Black on Global, is we did talk about it a little bit in the showcase yesterday, is he's really good and he's really effective against Kid Buu, but being forced to run like a full super bosses team, the way it currently is on Global is very weird, which is kind of funny when you think that like he came out on the same day as the Ginyu Force, and that is like their biggest issue on Global as well. The fact that they've released in a time slot on Global where their ideal team just kind of like doesn't actually exist yet, right? Because Goku Black wants to be run on this like full super bosses build, but for him, like the full super bosses build that's going to work the best is with the Broly trio. I mean, even Broly, right? Even though he's not a big bad bosses unit, he'll work really nicely on this team. Obviously taking from this, double digits. Okay, nice. That's actually not too bad then. Okay. Now, how do we make sure we get another turn? Oh, he can use his domain already. Okay, well, I guess we do that then. So we're going to go ahead and domain. Now, unfortunately, the domain obviously doesn't really do anything for us here, specifically, because the domain is super class enemies and allies take more damage, and obviously, technically that means Kefla takes more damage, which is kind of awkward, but we'll do this. Get a decent heal off of that. We should... Are we going to be able to get 6 orbs? I don't want to risk not being able to, so let's do that. And then, yeah, a lot of orbs there that would have been great for Goku Black, but there should be a good setup here. Hopefully Kid Buu just... Yeah, there we go. Tries to super attack Infinite Zamasu. The idea of him, because it's Zamasu in the sky, so the idea of Kid Buu, like, planting his foot in the ground, and then it comes up somewhere else and goes all the way up to the sky just to hit Infinite Zamasu in the sky face is pretty funny. So yeah, I think we should be good here. I don't know about Kefla though, because obviously at this point Kid Buu is pretty built up. He's had 1 greatly attack lower from the physical Goku Black, so that will obviously help, but if Kefla doesn't dodge the normal, I'm not sure how much damage she's actually going to take here. Kefla is an interesting unit to run as a floater on super bosses, but it's just the only downside is she's not linking super well with a lot of these other characters. So like at the moment, she's just going to have Fierce Battle active. And against some of these tough boss fights, right, if she's not dodging, like especially against the super attack, then she just dies. She shares a couple of links with Goku Black and with like physical Rose like Super Saiyan, but she's not like the optimal top pick. Yeah, 168k. I mean, it's not terrible, but alright, so we can get 8 orbs. I do kind of want to see how he would handle slot 1 here with 226k. If we get 8 orbs, obviously if he gets super attacked immediately, there is the possibility that we still just die, but I don't know. We can find out. So let's do that. So he picked up the orbs. He's got 1,000,000 defense. Yeah, I think with how built up Kid Buu is already, I think if he supers, as long as he doesn't super first, because we do get extra. Oh no, he is fully built up actually already. Goku Black in terms of defense, 21 million, and then we greatly lower attack. We get the additional supers. That's mega, like for this, because we get the double greatly attack lower. So I think, I don't know, because Zamasu does lose out on some of his damage reduction as the event goes on. I don't know how much this is going to do to him. This might actually still kill him. After a double greatly attack lower, though, I don't know. So let's see. How much is this going to do? It still does 1.3 million. Yeah, okay. Because once his damage reduction starts to wear off, it's a little bit of an oof. But yeah, I mean, physical Goku Black against against Kid Buu. He himself is very, very good. I like the fact the game has just stopped now. The sky is still going though, which is great. But super bosses on global is in a bit of a weird spot, right? Because if we look at the team and we go to all characters, right, and then we're on URs and LRs, and then super bosses. When we look at the units that are available on global right now, well, let's take you off, right, because you're probably one of the worst units on the team. Physical Rose would probably be one of the better units on the team, except he just gets completely hard countered by Kid Buu, which is a shame, because that rotation of the two of them together would work really well. The Broly trio need their EZA. Hit obviously can be decent as long as you have enough STR characters in order for him to get his full passive, otherwise not so much really. Obviously Topo would be on there if we had Topo on global at the moment, but we don't. Even units like LR Goku Black, like LR Rose, who can still be decent, not really good against Kid Buu. Tech units, obviously not great against Kid Buu anyway. And then everyone else on this team is just incredibly outdated. Like even Kale, we would have to run like a specific unit with her and everything. So Goku Black is very, very good, but super bosses at the moment, not so good. Now, at least it's not a unit that you had to summon for, right? If you already had this guy, you just had to get the Super EZA done. And then when the anniversary rolls around, we're going to get Broly, Golden Frieza as his banner unit. Like, even having that Golden Frieza around, he's a massive support for super bosses. So the rotation with, like, physical Rose with his domain up, and then physical Super EZA Goku Black, and then you have, like, Int Golden Frieza in slot 3. This guy will go absolutely crazy. But, unfortunately, currently, he is held back by the super bosses options on global. Don't forget, of course, LR Cell Max, who just came out on JP. He's another big bad bosses character. He's not reliant on orbs at all, so he works really nicely on these rotations as well, because you can get like the 1 or 2 stray orbs at the side and then leave the massive like bulk of orbs for units like Goku Black or the Broly trio. But again, like we just don't have that proper super bosses team currently on global. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. How have you been using physical Goku Black? What team build have you been trying out for him? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.